One country that continues to deal with violent extremists is Pakistan. A Taliban attack on a school there killed over 140 people in December, most of them children. And there have been a number of terrorist incidents since, including a bombing at a mosque just this week. CCTV's Hendrik Sybrandy reports on why some experts in the U.S. are questioning whether the Pakistani government is really serious about confronting extremists.
This is how it looked as heavily armed militants burst into a Shiite mosque in Peshawar, Pakistan, and began firing guns and tossing grenades. This recent attack killed almost 24 worshippers and is part of a pattern of violence that continues to plague this country.
This is an ongoing cycle that has been producing mayhem, chaos, and of which there is no end in sight.
Nader Hashemi of the University of Denver says this episode and December's devastating Pakistani school attack occurred in a weak country where illiteracy, corruption, and a radical religious ideology are all widespread.
So what Pakistan's experiencing is blowback.
Pakistan expert Christine Fair puts it even more strongly. She argues the government's support of militants like the Taliban has come back to haunt it.
It wants to have those good jihadists that kill people in India and Afghanistan while wanting to have a very selective war against those terrorists that are now mobilizing against the state. And you can't do that.
Fair says the U.S. has gotten Pakistan all wrong by thinking that throwing money at its military will convince Pakistanis to see the world the way Americans do and persuade it to renounce the use of terrorism. Half a world away from Pakistan, this week's White House summit on extremism has focused on militant groups like ISIS, also known as ISIL. Hashemi says ISIS ranks high on a scale of 1 to 10 as a terrorist threat. The Taliban, much lower.
The Taliban, on a global scale, would be maybe a 2.
But Fair says Pakistan remains a real security problem and that a major incident, perhaps involving its nuclear weapons, is still very possible.
As a scholar of this, it's difficult to not be concerned about where Pakistan is going.
Pakistan's prime minister says it's time to end the menace of terrorism. But Hashemi predicts this incident inside a Peshawar mosque won't be the last.
The basic structural conditions that produce and lend these societies to instability are all there in Pakistan, and I don't see them changing anytime soon.
Hendrik Sybrandy, CCTV, Denver.